Have you ever found yourself full of motivation one day, only to feel completely off track the next? You're not failing. You're just missing the one thing that truly fuels real transformation: consistency. That's exactly what today's video, The Power of Consistency, is here to unpack. Imagine building a life where small, steady actions replace the chaos of stop-start cycles. A life where you don't wait for the perfect moment. You create momentum by showing up every single day. The Stoics mastered this mindset. Epictetus once said, "No great thing is created suddenly." Progress doesn't come from random bursts of motivation. It comes from deliberate, consistent effort, especially when it's hardest to continue. In this video, we'll explore how Stoic philosophy can guide you through those moments when you feel like giving up. You'll discover why consistency is more powerful than talent, and how to build habits that stick, no matter what life throws at you. If you're ready to finally stay the course, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a step on your Stoic journey. Share this with a friend, and let's take the next consistent step together. Number 1, definition and power of consistency. Have you ever wondered why you start out full of energy, fired up and ready to go, but give up just a few weeks later? You set goals to learn a new language, exercise regularly, read more, and wake up early. All of it. But then things fall back into the same old pattern. The initial excitement fades. What's left is a lingering sense of guilt for not following through on what you once wanted. It's not because you're not smart, and it's not really because you don't have time. It's because you're missing one thing: consistency. In Stoic philosophy, consistency isn't loud or flashy. It's a quiet habit. The ability to repeat small actions every day, even when there's no inspiration, no reward, and no one watching. It's not about exploding with effort. It's about showing up daily, quietly but relentlessly. Imagine exercising just 10 minutes a day. It may not sound like much, but 10 minutes times 30 days is 300 minutes. Meanwhile, if you wait for a free day to go big and do one intense 2-hour session, then skip the rest of the month, your total is still less. On top of that, your body will be sore, your motivation will be drained, and your chances of quitting are much higher. The difference doesn't lie in intensity, but in rhythm. It's like growing a plant. You can't pour 20 liters of water on it once and ignore it for the rest of the month. The plant will dry up, but if you water it a little every day, the roots take hold, shoots appear, it grows steadily, and eventually blooms. Consistency is like a gentle rain, drop by drop, day by day, soaking into the soil and sustaining life. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "No great thing is created suddenly. There must be time. Give your best and be patient." That may sound obvious, but in today's fast-paced world of instant results, it's a crucial reminder. You can't force a seed to grow faster, just like you can't shortcut your own growth. Consistency is the rhythm of real progress. Stoicism teaches us that what we control is not the outcome, but our actions in the present moment. If every day you do one small thing in the right direction, you're building a solid path to where you want to go. You don't need a big burst of motivation. You just need to repeat the right thing, even if it's small, consistently. Look at anyone who's great at a skill: music, sports, writing, coding. You won't see them suddenly shine one fine day. What you'll see is them repeating the same movements, the same notes, the same lines of code, over and over again, across countless ordinary days. What creates the extraordinary is the ability to consistently repeat the ordinary. Consistency isn't flashy. It doesn't wear the label of instant success. It doesn't bring that rush of excitement. And that's exactly why it's the true foundation of any lasting change. The problem is, we tend to underestimate small actions. Skipping one workout, putting off studying just once, breaking a promise we made to ourselves. We tell ourselves it's no big deal, but over time, those no big deals add up. They become a gap, one that's hard to bridge, between the person we want to be and the person we actually are. On the other hand, if you commit to small actions done every single day, something incredible happens. Not overnight, not suddenly, but gradually through steady effort. Consistency is like carving a path through a dense forest. At first, you have to work hard just to clear the way. But if you keep walking it every day, the trail becomes clear. And one day you no longer have to try. It becomes a familiar route in your mind, your routine, your identity. And this is something the Stoics deeply understood. A life of virtue and resilience doesn't come from sudden inspiration. It comes from right habits, repeated every day. Think about Serena Williams, not just one of the greatest tennis players of all time, but a masterclass in consistency. Her victories didn't come from a few extraordinary matches. They were the result of relentless training, day in and day out. Long before the crowds cheered and the trophies piled up, she was showing up on the court. Early mornings, grueling drills, recovering from injuries, and pushing through setbacks. It wasn't just her talent that made her a legend. It was her ability to stick to the process, to improve piece by piece without giving up. That's the power of consistency. It turns potential into greatness and dreams into achievements, one committed day at a time. However, persistence doesn't mean being stubborn. It doesn't require you to be perfect. There will be days when you're tired, make mistakes, or fall short. That's okay. What matters is that you come back, that you keep going, even if yesterday didn't go as planned. That's why in Stoicism, what's truly valuable isn't doing a lot, but doing consistently. It's not about sprinting, but about running the marathon. It's not about instant perfection, but about daily progress. Consistency teaches you a powerful lesson. The real value doesn't lie in big results, but in the quiet habits you maintain every day. And that's also how you rebuild your self-belief, not by setting huge goals, but by keeping the smallest promises to yourself. Waking up on time, writing a short paragraph, reading one page, drinking enough water, moving for 5 minutes. Small steps, repeated consistently. That is your real strength. Consistency also teaches us the importance of patience. In a world that often seeks quick fixes, it can be tempting to chase instant results. However, true growth requires time. Just like a tree needs years to fully mature, your efforts need time to show their full potential. Trusting in the process, even when progress feels slow or invisible, is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. Keep moving forward no matter how small the steps may seem, because each moment of consistency is one step closer to where you want to be. So next time you feel unmotivated, remember, you don't have to do a lot. You just have to not stop. Number 2, the science of consistency. Have you ever tried something new that felt nearly impossible at first, but with time, it became effortless? Think back to when you learned to ride a bike. At the beginning, you were probably unsteady, falling and wobbling. But after practicing a few times, it became second nature. This change from struggle to ease isn't magic. It's the brain's ability to adapt through repetition. Our brains are wired to learn and grow through consistency, and it's this process that turns new skills into habits. This transformation is a result of neuroplasticity, which is the brain's incredible ability to rewire itself. Every time you repeat an action, you strengthen a neural pathway. Imagine creating a trail through a dense forest. The first time you walk it, it's hard to find your way, but with each step, the path becomes clearer. This is how the brain works. It strengthens the connections that you use most often. So when you consistently perform a small task, like meditating for 2 minutes each morning or reading a few pages at night, your brain gets the message that this is important, and it adapts to help you keep doing it. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." This means that to truly live by a philosophy, you must practice it consistently. Simply knowing the principles of Stoicism, such as staying calm in the face of irritation or having discipline during moments of temptation, isn't enough. They must be put into action regularly, and that's where consistency plays a key role. It's the bridge between knowing and doing, between understanding and becoming. Without consistent practice, philosophy remains just theory. Think about it this way. Many people want fast results when they start something new, but success isn't achieved in a single day. It's the result of persistent effort over time. For example, an athlete training for a marathon doesn't run the full race on day one. They build up gradually, with each day's practice strengthening them. Progress may seem slow at first, but it's those small, consistent actions that add up to long-term success. The same applies to any skill or goal. It's the daily, consistent effort that ultimately leads to mastery. Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. On days when you're tired or feeling unmotivated, those are the moments when you're building real strength. The trust you develop in yourself doesn't come from grand achievements. It comes from consistently choosing to keep going, even when progress feels slow or non-existent. In a world that often rewards instant gratification, consistency reminds us that real progress takes time. It's easy to get caught up in the desire for quick results, but lasting success comes from repeated, small actions. The people who succeed aren't necessarily the most talented. They're the ones who keep pushing forward even when the results don't show up immediately. The power of consistency lies in its quiet persistence. It's not about making dramatic moves or seeking instant breakthroughs. It's about showing up each day, doing the small things and slowly, steadily, building towards your goals. Like a river slowly carving through rock, the effort you put in today may feel small, but over time it will create the path to your success. Keep going, even when the journey feels long, and trust that the results will come, not because of sudden bursts of effort, but because you never gave up. Number 3, specific illustrative examples. Have you ever noticed how certain actions, when repeated consistently, can drastically improve your skills or change your life in ways you never imagined? This principle works in everything from sports to personal development. Let's look at specific examples to see how consistency leads to mastery. Take Kobe Bryant, for example. Known for his legendary work ethic, Bryant's commitment to basketball was unparalleled. From the moment he entered the NBA, he was famous for his grueling daily workouts. He would arrive at the gym hours before his teammates, often shooting hundreds of shots before practice even began. Kobe's consistency in refining his craft, day in and day out, led him to win 5 NBA championships and become one of the greatest players in the history of basketball. His success wasn't just about his natural talent, but the countless hours of practice he put in, even when no one was watching. Another perfect example is Will Smith, who credits much of his success to consistency and a strong work ethic. Will Smith didn't become a superstar overnight. He spent years honing his craft. He would read, work on his skills, and improve his performances every day. Whether he was preparing for a role in a movie or perfecting his music career, Will's consistency in showing up, practicing, and improving himself allowed him to build a career that spans multiple industries. In interviews, he has often mentioned the importance of consistency in achieving success and how he believes that talent is just the starting point, but consistent effort is what truly matters. Consistency is also visible in the life of Serena Williams, one of the greatest tennis players of all time. Williams' consistency on the court is not only a result of her raw talent, but of years of relentless practice and dedication. Her story serves as a reminder that mastery doesn't happen overnight. Serena didn't just practice when she was in the mood. She showed up every day, through wins and losses, pushing herself to be better with every swing of the racket. In the world of business, Jeff Bezos' journey with Amazon also highlights the power of consistency. Starting from a small online bookstore, Bezos kept pushing himself and his team to improve the platform day by day. Even when things seemed uncertain, his consistent effort in building and refining the business model helped Amazon evolve into one of the most successful companies in the world. Like Kobe Bryant and Will Smith, Bezos' success didn't come from quick wins. It came from a series of consistent, purposeful actions. Consistency isn't just for the famous, though. It's something that can be applied to anyone's life, regardless of their career or goals. For example, take a student who is struggling with a subject. If that student consistently dedicates just 30 minutes a day to studying, reviewing the material, and working on problems, over time they will improve. The key is sticking with it, even when the results aren't immediately apparent. Just like a bodybuilder doesn't see muscle growth after the first day at the gym, a student doesn't become a top performer after just a few study sessions. The gradual accumulation of effort leads to a transformation that might not be obvious at first, but eventually results in significant progress. These examples show us that whether you're on the basketball court, the movie set, the tennis court, or in the business world, consistency is what propels people to greatness. It's not the flashy moments of success that matter most, but the steady, persistent effort to show up day after day, improving and evolving along the way. Number 4, common obstacles and solutions. Have you ever wondered why you start so many things but finish so few? We often begin with excitement, a plan to learn English, a resolution to exercise, a desire to write, learn an instrument, or grow as a person. But just a few days later, the initial enthusiasm starts to fade. Every time we give up, we ask ourselves, am I just not motivated enough? But the problem isn't how we feel. The problem is that we're waiting to feel something before we take action, and that's where we go wrong. Stoics don't place their faith in feelings. They don't wait for a good day to live well. They understand that consistency doesn't come from inspiration, it comes from discipline. Epictetus once said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Don't talk about what you believe in, live it. Be the proof of it every single day." And in today's unpredictable world, the strongest form of embodiment is this: showing up daily, even when you're not perfect, even when you're not inspired, even when you don't feel like it, but still taking action. The most common problem people face is a lack of motivation. But Stoicism doesn't care much about motivation, because motivation is a feeling, and feelings come and go like the weather. Today might be sunny, tomorrow could be a storm. If you only work out when you're in the mood, you'll never get the body you want. If you only study when it's fun, you'll never become skilled. Stoics teach us this: do the right thing whether you feel like it or not. Discipline isn't a restriction, it's freedom. Because when you act without needing to feel ready, you take back control. You're no longer a slave to your emotions. One powerful solution is to build small habits. Action first and inspiration will follow. For example, instead of thinking about writing 1,000 words, just sit down and write one sentence. Just put on your shoes and go for a 5-minute walk. That tiny action is the spark that lights the fire. Remember, no one finishes a book through inspiration alone. They finish it by showing up every day, even on the worst days. But even when you've made up your mind to act, another obstacle shows up: distraction. These days, you don't even need to go anywhere to get distracted. Just pick up your phone. Notifications, videos, messages, all fighting for your attention every second. And worse, they come with convincing voices. Just scroll a bit. I need a break. I'll start after this video. Stoicism teaches that while we can't control our circumstances, we can control our choices. And the clearest choice is this: eliminate what distracts you. Turn off notifications, leave your phone in another room, and create an environment that supports one thing: getting the work done. Don't fight distractions after they appear. Cut them off at the root. An effective method is the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes to start, do it now. Don't think, don't wait, don't weigh your options. Want to study an English lesson? Open the app. Want a journal? Pick up a pen. Want to go for a walk? Put on your shoes. The first 2 minutes are the gateway. Once you step through, everything gets easier. However, even if you do everything right, take action every day, clear all distractions, the biggest problem is this: you don't see results. You go to the gym for 2 weeks and your body looks the same. You study for a month and your English is still clumsy. You write for a month and no one's reading. And then you lose motivation. This is where most people quit. Not because they're weak, but because they judge the results too soon. We're used to a world of speed. 2-hour delivery, 30-second videos. Success must be fast, must be explosive. But in the real world, real results come from small actions repeated consistently over a long time. You don't see a seed grow each day, but it's growing. You don't feel each run making you stronger, but it's happening. You don't notice the change because it's slow, but it's real. The way to overcome this is to track your progress and celebrate the small steps. Write down what you learned today, even if it's just one word. Mark your calendar every time you show up. Reward yourself for completing a full week without skipping a workout. Those little wins are the fuel that keeps you going. Another significant challenge that many face is the frustration of not seeing immediate results. You might go to the gym for weeks and see no visible change, study for months without feeling your skills improving, or write daily without gaining recognition. It's easy to lose motivation when the progress feels slow or invisible, but this is where patience becomes crucial. Real success doesn't come from instant gratification. It's built on consistent, small efforts over time. Just like a seed planted in the ground, you may not see it grow every day, but with each action, it's developing beneath the surface. The key is to keep going, even when results seem distant. Trust that every small step is contributing to long-term growth and improvement. Stoicism doesn't promise quick success, but it does promise one thing. If you stay consistent, if you live by your principles, you'll never feel ashamed of yourself. And that is stronger than any motivation you've ever felt. Consistency isn't a gift reserved for the talented. It's a tool for those who know what they want and are willing to show up every day for it. You might not be perfect today, but if you act, you're winning. If you come back tomorrow, you're laying a foundation. And if you keep going, even when no one sees or claps, you're creating real change. So don't ask how to feel motivated. Ask, what's one small thing I can do today to stay on the path? Consistency is not about intensity. It's about showing up every day, especially when it's hard. If this resonates with you, share one small action you'll take today in the comments. We're on the same journey, and every small step you take is a much bigger move than you think. Ask yourself, what is stopping me today from taking that small step forward? The answer might not always be external. Often it's the fear of starting, the fear of not seeing immediate results, or the discomfort of stepping out of our comfort zone. But ask yourself, how will I feel tomorrow if I don't take action today? Consistency doesn't require perfection, only presence. The key to change is showing up again and again, no matter how small the action. Keep asking yourself, what can I do today? And take that first step. Over time, those small steps will lead to real, lasting transformation. Number 5, 3-step formula for maintaining consistency. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a dense forest, and your goal is to carve a path through it. If you rush in and try to clear a massive section all at once, you'll soon give up because it's exhausting, and that path will never exist. But if each day you walk just a short stretch, clear a few steps, trim a few branches, over time, a solid, visible trail will appear. This is exactly how small daily actions lead to big change. The Stoics don't wait for inspiration to act. They act regardless of inspiration. They understand that the small things we repeat every day slowly become who we are. No big change ever happens without steady, repeated steps. But how do you stay consistent when life is busy, moods fluctuate, and motivation is never quite enough? The answer lies in a simple but powerful 3-step formula. Focus on the process, adjust your environment, and build gradual momentum. Step 1, focus on the process. Rather than obsessing over the end goal, focus on the process itself. If you want to learn a new skill, don't obsess over completing a 2-hour study session every day. Instead, commit to engaging with the task for just 10 minutes each day. It's the act of showing up consistently that builds progress. The key is to fall in love with the process, not the outcome. The Stoics believe that cultivating virtue is more important than seeking results. And in the same way, consistency comes from appreciating the daily practice rather than worrying about the distant future. By breaking the larger goal into manageable actions, you take away the pressure and allow yourself to enjoy the journey. Over time, these small actions add up, and you begin to see growth without feeling overwhelmed. Step 2, adjust your environment. Your environment plays a huge role in your ability to stay consistent. If you're trying to build a new habit, like exercising every morning, but your gym clothes are buried in the back of your closet, you're setting yourself up for failure. A cluttered, unprepared environment can drain your willpower and make consistency difficult. Instead, make the environment work for you. If you want to practice English every day, keep your study materials visible and accessible. Create reminders that nudge you toward your goal, like setting a daily alarm or leaving a journal on your desk. The Stoics embrace the idea of structuring their lives to support their values, and you can do the same by creating an environment that encourages the habits you want to cultivate. Step 3. Build gradual momentum. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about building momentum. Starting small helps you avoid burnout and maintain steady progress. Once you establish your small habit, aim to slightly increase your efforts each week. If you're reading for 10 minutes a day, try to stretch it to 12 or 15 minutes after a week or two. The key here is incremental improvement, small, manageable changes that compound over time. As you continue this, the habit becomes easier and momentum grows. Soon you won't need to rely on motivation to get started. Your habits will be ingrained, and consistency will come naturally. The Stoics knew that they could not change their circumstances immediately, but by adhering to a routine and building steady momentum, they improved themselves day by day. Why this formula works? The beauty of this formula lies in its simplicity and ability to address the core obstacles to consistency. It works because it focuses on small, manageable steps and ensures that you gradually build up your routine. It helps you avoid the common mistake of trying to achieve too much at once, which often leads to burnout. By focusing on the process, adjusting your environment, and building momentum, you can keep the ball rolling even when life gets tough. The Stoics were masters at controlling their environment and actions, and by doing the same, you set yourself up for success. So if today you're feeling unmotivated, that's okay. You don't need to sprint, you just need to start. 5 minutes right after this video, write a sentence in English, do one push-up, read a paragraph of Stoic wisdom, log it down and repeat it tomorrow. You don't have to do everything, but you do have to do something consistently. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said, "No one can keep you from this. No one can stop you except yourself." And if you've made it this far, chances are you're ready. Ready to start small. Ready to take ownership. Ready to live a life of purpose and discipline like a true Stoic. So then, start today, right now. If you found this message helpful, drop a comment sharing one small action you'll take today and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more inspiring content. Change begins with a single click, but the results, they come from consistency. Consistency isn't a distant dream. It's about taking small actions repeatedly, turning them into habits and allowing them to build over time. The Stoics teach us that persistence isn't about measuring up to others, but about staying committed to your own path, step by step, day by day. You don't need a grand beginning, you only need the courage to start. So ask yourself, what tiny action can you take today to maintain your consistency? Whether it's dedicating 5 minutes to reading, taking a moment to breathe deeply, or putting your phone down for a while to focus, every little step matters. Remember, success is not the result of a giant leap, but of consistent, incremental progress. Be the person who shows up, even if it's just for a few minutes. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can stay updated on future videos. Keep watching and continue your journey toward improvement every single day.